it worth it? Is it for the future? The family. I want more. I want freedom. I'm purpose driven for equality. You're gonna know my name. I'm still the same. Ain't nothing changed. You're gonna know I am good. Respect me and my legacy. And I wish you would Google me, read my story. You're gonna know my name. Is it for the future? The family. Welcome to the face behind the brand. Episode 139. Hope everybody's been good. I'm excited about tonight's guest, Bay Area native, town business. Welcome, 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 welcome to the face behind the brand. I am your host, Monique Marie, and you are the incredible Co-COO, partner of OaktownSoul Collective record label. You are the lead engineer. You are a producer. You are a king. You are Max Powers.
Wow, what a great intro. Thanks.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying myself.
I'm glad to have you. You know, I had to bring you into this incredible sound. Full circle that you have shared with me. Part of your, of course, amazing discography, Trap Soul. I'm going to let everybody hear this for a second. Come on in. Incredible sound. So that's Max Powers, everybody, as you see here with us tonight, the producer, engineer, OaktownSoul Collective. We also have is it another producer on this track, Max? Andrea Spencer?
Oh, yep. That's our guy. He's a good friend of ours. He lives in Louisiana, and he just makes amazing samples that we get to chop and, you know.
Absolutely
great
incredible.
asset producer. Oh, yeah.
Great collaboration. So welcome to the face behind the brand. How are you tonight?
It's been a good night so far. I don't know. I had to come all the way to our upstairs studio because we're producing downstairs right now.
Oh my God.
Just walked out of the session to come up here and join you. And thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate you for taking the time out tonight. I feel like I'm in the house, so thank God, you know. I'm literally. So I'm so glad to have you on again as I brought you in. For those people who are getting a chance to see who you are tonight, as I mentioned, you of course are one of the amazing producers and lead engineer, a partner in COO at OaktownSoul Collective record label. So talk to me about a little bit about the collective and tell us your background.
Definitely. So OaktownSoul, it's been many things over a course of about 6 years now. It's been a radio show. It's been a collective of over 30, 40 producers at one time. It's really narrowed down as we've created so much music and saw how this vision could kind of come together. Yeah. And we started working with a lot of artists we truly believe in the Bay. It finally narrowed down into it's a record label. We have artists that we really believe in, that we think sound amazing. We produce all their music, and we just want to bring industry to the Bay Area for real. You know, it hasn't happened in a long time, and we think that there's just so much talent here that, you know, if we get all the resources together, we could have a real industry here, just like Los Angeles, like Atlanta, like New York. There's no reason that couldn't happen here.
Absolutely. So where did you grow up?
So I actually grew up in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I think I grew up, you know, playing music, playing piano, writing songs. I came to the Bay Area for the first time in college. I went to SF State.
Okay. Okay.
Only for a semester.
Yeah. Yes.
Went back home, you know, came back again. I went to UC Berkeley for 2 years then, transferred in, and that's where I first met OaktownSoul. Not Sean or Clay. I did a mixtape in my dorm for Honest, who's one of our artists. And it was his first mixtape. And in my dorm, I recorded it for him, the whole thing. I just thought he was a really great artist. It came out really well. He performed a lot. I came back to home, and he ended up joining OaktownSoul. And when he joined, you know, he said, we have to connect. I came up, and ever since then, you know, Sean and Clay have been family to me. So came back up and stayed on their couch in the Murder Dubs in Oakland for 6 months, 7 months. Wow. Didn't have a room, just came up on a whim because I really believed in these guys, and it really paid off. Now I co-run the business with them. I'm one of the partners, and like you said, COO. And it's just been an amazing adventure the past. I've been here about 2.5 years now.
Incredible. And shout out to those guys. Of course, you're talking about both Sean, the founder, Sean ADHD, producer and founder of OaktownSoul, and of course, yes, Clay Xavier, producer, also co-founder, which of course I had a chance to interview a few weeks back. And amazing collective. I want to start there. You, of course, as you just mentioned, are engineer. You lead a lot of the outreach, which we're talking about. I just had an opportunity to come to one of those amazing events, huge networking event, the last networking event of the year. Talk to me about how you put those together, because you're making a connection, yes, as you mentioned, but you're definitely making a connection that counts. And a lot of times people talk about networking, but they're not really networking. They're kind of, you know, it's like a competition with everyone. With this, I can honestly vouch and say, because I was there, I can just look, I can be the poster person for you guys right now. No, but I literally felt the energy. It was an incredible panel that was there. So talk a little bit about how those gather and how you put those together. And of course, now that that's the last one, what can we expect next?
So really why those became a thing was, this is an idea that actually Sean had just from running the collective for so long. You know, people would come into the studio and ask like, hey, I need a photographer. Oh, do you know videographer?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know somebody like this? And it just became apparent to us that like, wow, there's so many people in the Bay that are doing really great art, but they're not talking to each other.
They're not communicating,
No, and I'm not exactly sure why, because once we started putting on this event, just this networking brunch, it started small, maybe like 30, 40 people. It started to blow up quickly when we were posting it online. People were seeing just, you know, just creatives coming together and exchanging resources. And out of nowhere, you know, we had maybe 150 DMs in 10 minutes after one of our posts. And that's really when it really took off and we got that bigger building. We started to think, yeah, there it is right there.
There's the post.
That was footage from our sync panel one. So we actually got a lot of people from LA. Like we have guys who've gotten us in TV shows before. Nick from Proper One is a founder of a sync agency in LA. We had him come up and speak. We had someone from NBA 2K come up and talk about how to get music on their platform. And really it's just been like the response, like, I know somebody from that event actually got a sync deal with Nick as well. So I already know there's been real results from it. And yeah.
Wow. Well, this was absolutely amazing. I even, of course, you know, I had to log in just a second because I wanted to kind of give people the real image of, you know, what is happening if you weren't there, and just the feeling, because it's really about the the true cultivation, right, of what goes on. And this was the last event a couple of weeks ago, and there you are, of course. You know, I mean, you're everywhere. And I always just kind of like to give, fan mail, and of course we're talking about people that were DMing, but people that are right on the post, and just some of the response to this. And one person, it's funny, she has my name. It says, "I am Monique." I am Monique McCoy. Said, "Thank you for hosting this. It was a great meetup, and I look forward to next year's." Another person said, Sola Chivo said, "This was dope. Thank you for hosting." Beaches and Bridges said, "I had a lot of fun and some cool folks. Thanks for hosting." And so nice to see something like this. So how does that make you feel?
It feels great. I mean, it's just, this is what we want. We want to build together and like build something different. It's like the first time in the industry that we can do this and come together and pool resources and change what this all looks like. And just to see other people also excited about that. I don't know, like one of that first guys in the video there, I'm pretty sure he's a young guy. He's not older than 20. It's like great to see the youth come out too and like be excited to just, create and find other creatives. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So very exciting.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, I met a lot of great artists myself there. Of course, as you know, I'm an artist as well. And then I also, of course, obviously I'm a host, I'm a journalist. So I can say thank you. And you can run that back to the guys, because I managed to grab a few folks that, of course, are coming out with albums and, just working, right? And want exposure. So I will be interviewing a few of those artists too, coming up. So I thank OaktownSoul.
Can't wait to see those. Yeah,
absolutely. So tell me the production. I mean, because you are an incredible producer, you're an engineer. Where does that inspiration come from? Who in the house has this gift, if anyone, and or who are some of your influencers?
Definitely. My influences kind of come all over the place. I mean, the first music that I really loved was actually movie scores. Hearing, I mean, that's just the first thing I just remember repeating into my head, like really epic sounds. And coming to OaktownSoul, it was great to find Clay is also a composer. He loves compositions. Sean loves really big music as well. So coming here, like, there's us all working together. And then that's Brandon in the corner, who's an amazing drummer. Outside of that, it really started to vary. I listened to a lot of Kid Cudi in middle school, and I really just liked, the emotion he put into his songs. It's not like he's the most talented singer or other things or rapper, but he's like just a great songwriter, and I really connected with that. And then when I started producing, my friends wanted to start making music, but nobody knew how to. So I first became an engineer out of necessity, just recording people at my house. No, but we bought the cheapest mic you could buy, maybe like 16. I started producing our beats just because, it was fun, and I seemed to have a little bit of a knack for it. Obviously, if I listen to them now, I would be cringe a little bit. but for what we were doing, it was the start, and just ever since then, the steady progression. When I came to OaktownSoul, the reason why I came over here was when I heard Honest's music, what he did over here, but I heard Sean produce for him and Clay, and I just heard the stark difference. I'm like, I've never heard Honest make something this put together and powerful before.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so they grabbed my attention. The music's what grabbed my attention. It's not like they had the 1 million followers or this or that, or the song was doing crazy. I mean, I could just hear it. I was like, wow, these guys are really good. So when they invited me to the team, I hopped on it for sure. And
of course.
I jumped on board, and I was doing something similar in LA. I'd actually built a studio, and I had been recording people and been doing a lot, but linking up with these guys, something I didn't really find there was a community I really believed in. And that's what I found here. And it's been, that's finding a community, that's the greatest inspiration for music, because we're constantly trading ideas, we're constantly trading influences. Clay shows me some jazz band he listens to that I would have never listened to. Sean shows me some 90s R&B that passed over my head, and then I come back to it. And yeah, it's just a great exchange.
Yeah, I love that. Well, what would you say? Because you are an instrumentalist, are you not?
Yo, yeah.
So what is your favorite instrument to play and why?
Ooh, my favorite, that's a tough one. So I play piano and cello.
Ooh, I
And
didn't know you play the cello. Oh my God.
oh yeah, the piano
Wow.
I love just because you can like how much you can do with it. I love synths. I love just you can get so many emotions out of the piano. But the thing where the cello differentiates itself is there's nothing like when you're playing a cello line and you can feel the vibrations in your chest as you're playing it. Like it's, if you're really playing that thing, it can feel really good because it's vibrating on you, and it's such a big thing of wood, like vibrating the sounds as you're playing them. So that's a tough one. Like
I can imagine. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, 'cause I don't play, besides the voice, I don't play. I was telling Clay, I'm like, I don't read music, So
the voice is the toughest instrument of them all.
Oh my God.
That's a real instrument too. Wow, singers are amazing. I tried to sing for a while, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna stick to instruments for a little bit.
Stick to the cello.
So that's a whole different talent.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit about, what you're networking, obviously, and meeting so many different musicians, collaborating with musicians. But if you could say you had an ideal musician to collaborate with, because you've already done, so many, who out there, of course, mainstream or underground that we don't know about yet, are you interested in collaborating with?
That's a really good question.
There's so many artists. So many.
This sounds crazy, but an artist I really want to collaborate with, we're actually getting the chance to go meet in Atlanta in 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks, October 29th. His name's Riz.
Wow.
And I first heard him from our guy First. He featured on a track, and I was just like, who is this guy? Like, it's like one of those things when you just hear a feature and you have to know who the feature is.
Yeah.
And Riz is an amazing songwriter. Like, his style is so different, and he can go on such a versatile, different amount of beats. Like, maybe I'll send you his Instagram or something, and you can put it. But we're getting the chance to go to Stankonia Studios in Atlanta on the 29th and work with him for 2 weeks. We're going to be there for 2 weeks. So I've been trying to stack as much music as possible to be able to just, throw his way and see what he can do. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Well done. My God. Yeah, it's interesting. There was another guy, and I think he's also part of your collective. He's out of Louisiana. Producer, who am I talking about?
He's coming too. He's coming on the trip. So you're talking about his name's Gray. But yeah,
another young guy. I mean, just oh my God, he posted something the other day. I was just like, excuse me, who are you? Like, what is your name?
He is very talented. So that's the guy that I did the track with, the Trap Soul track that you just played. It's the same guy. That's just his legal name.
He is super talented.
Yeah.
When I say super talented, I was floored, just like by one of his posts. I was like, oh my God, very humble. Yeah, that's him. I was trying to find his page. Very humble. Yeah, is it Cowboy
Janaki?
Cowboy Janaki. I can't shout out to Cowboy Janaki. Okay, if you see this, listen. Congratulations. I mean, good Lord have mercy. He is super dope. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So are there any obviously, I always ask musicians this. So if you're out at a performance and you're watching another artist, you're there listening to other producers, you're in the room with other producers, you're not playing though, you're just there and you're coming along for the trip on this one. What is it that you're picking up? What are you paying attention to? And what are you watching for? What are you listening for?
That's a good question. Like, I think the whole time it's It depends, but I think the general thing that I'm always listening for, and this might sound kind of generic, but always is the feeling. Like,
Ooh,
I don't
yes.
know what notes they might be or what rhythm or how high the singer's singing or, what things that might be considered hard, like hard
Yeah.
to do. But
Mhm.
like we just it's really the feeling. Like this the other night, 2 weeks ago, I can't even explain why what we were producing. It was like an 80s
Oh,
synth track, like felt
yeah.
like it should have been from Back to the Future or something. Yet it
Mhm.
had 808s and other things. It just felt really good for some reason.
Mhm.
And that's something we get a lot when downstairs in our studio that you have to come to for
Yes.
sure. Like, you have to come to a session with us and
Of
just see
course.
it all work at once because everybody's playing at once. And I'm the
Mhm.
engineer, so I have to decide what gets recorded and looped in
Yeah.
that moment. And it's definitely always a feeling thing. And you'll just, so many ideas are going, and then one will just stick out from the others.
Yeah.
Like so much are like, oh,
Yeah.
what is
Absolutely.
that emotion? Like,
Ooh.
what?
And especially when everybody at the same time is getting it and feeling it. That's what music is, what feelings sound like, you know.
Yeah,
If
vibrations in the air.
it's that's what it is. If I'm not feeling it, something ain't right, you know.
Hmm.
And that's not disrespectful. And it's just I need to feel. I need to feel the voice. I need to feel the sound, And
Definitely.
let's keep working on it. So what qualities do you think make a great engineer? Because obviously this is not just something that you just sign up and just start doing. So what qualities
Yeah.
does one need to be able to be a great engineer? And then the second part of that question would be to be a great producing engineer.
Great. So to just be a great engineer,
Yeah.
baseline, I wouldn't even say great, just to be a good engineer,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you get all the technical things. That's where you need to know, are things clipping? Like, are they distorting? What is my gear? How is everything plugged in?
Yeah.
Does it actually sound good? Like, just in general, is the quality of the audio good? That's the very baseline. But to be a great engineer, you have to go past that. Like, that's where like you actually need to know musicality yourself. You need to know what sounds good because you're a recording artist yourself. And
Correct.
to have an engineer who can actually help you coach what you're doing as well, help produce your vocals as you're doing it, is essential for like really good recordings. Because you can only do, I mean, it's just collaboration. And
Yeah.
so you need to have an ear. Like, maybe your engineer, like sometimes I'm with my singers and I'll hear a harmony, I'll help them like find the harmony, or I'll be like, that melody line, or maybe this, or maybe if you whisper this, oh, it was really nice when you like on the end of that note did this little thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's where you start to become a really good engineer, when you're anticipating what the artist wants, but you're also helping them like get a sound that otherwise they might not be able to get by themselves.
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely. That's interesting you say that, and I again commend you for speaking up and saying it, because for any producers and engineers that are watching this that don't coach, and think that it's not a part of the business and part of their job. Of course, it's our job to know our sound and know the lyrics and everything else, but I think it's an incredible producer and engineer when they speak up and say, do that over or add this to it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It makes
you
you know
guys
that
can
they
do
care.
everything.
Yeah, it makes you know that they care too. It's like, because
Yeah,
your name is riding on this, right? So it's like,
it's
hello,
kind of your
tell
brand.
me if it sounds good or not. So yeah, I love that. I love that. So here you are in the studio again,
Yep.
incredible production studio there you got going on, and what's happening here on this day?
So we got a duality. We got a duality SSL board in front of me. That's one of the first boards that actually combined Pro Tools and a
Oof.
analog board at the same time. So it controls the software and is an analog board. So
Yep.
a lot of buttons, as you can see. It's easy to get lost on that thing.
Yeah.
There's a live room right on the other side of that window. So that day we were recording a live band.
Wow.
They were coming in. We're also getting photos, as you can see.
Mhm. Everything's going on here all at one time.
Oh, yep. And then basically besides that, I mean, that board on the right, there's a patch bay. I don't know if you know much about analog gear, but there's just a lot of options. So basically with that live room, there's a lot of mics and you have a lot of ways you can make those mics sound good. And it took a long time to figure that board out. I printed the manual out. I read it like 3 times and was still lost.
I mean, incredible. You know, it's
Yeah.
like some Dr. Dre type shit going on here.
No, he was on an FSL. It wasn't that FSL, but that is
like literally.
He likes.
Wow, incredible. What's your sign, King?
I'm a
Your
Capricorn.
Oh, yeah, you definitely, you know what you're doing. No, you know, now there's a lot of, my other producer I work with, shout out to Coop. G Coop is a Capricorn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of heavy hitters who are very wise and in this business. Dr. Dre, hello. Is a
Capricorn.
Yes.
Capricorn. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know too many cool Capricorns. I'm going to have to, Dre is definitely on the list now.
Dr. Dre is a Capricorn, honey. So, oh boy. So this is during the show where, of course, since you are definitely working with wordsmith and lyricists and singers, I like to do wordplay. No wrong or right to these words when I shoot them out. Basically, your job is to just come up with the first thought, the first thing you think about when I call out a word or a word that's combined together. You ready?
Yep.
First word is intentional.
Intentional.
It's the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh my God, this word has been so important this week, this month, because we're a growing business. As you grow as a business, or you grow as an artist, or you grow as an individual, one thing you start to notice is a lot of doors start to open. And that's what we've noticed. There's all of these doors opening, and we haven't necessarily made the mistake, but we've gone down doors that haven't benefited us the most as soon as they've opened.
Yeah.
And sometimes we decided not to. And what we're learning is, like, our team can do anything when we put our mind to it, but we can't do everything. So being really intentional on what we decide is important as a business, or as me as an individual, or you as an artist, like, is so important, because otherwise you can be caught doing 12 things and like never really get the one thing you thought was really important to get done. And usually it is that thing that you thought from the beginning. It was that initial gut thing that you wanted to accomplish that is the thing you're supposed to stay on the mission.
Yeah.
But all these opportunities start to open. You might get sidetracked. You think it's too good to be true, this, that, where, like, if you're really intentional on how you want to make it and with what skills or what part you want to play, I think that's like the most important thing you can do. So you develop the skills to really, be that person, versus just jumping at different opportunities as they come up. So we reeled it in this week. We figured out our goals that, like, are really important to us to move forward, and we're sticking to them intentionally. So yes, intentionality is key.
I love that. Well done. Next word, you use these a lot. Rhythm. Rhythm.
Rhythm. Oh my God. One thing that I'm having to do lately is we're building the thing that we're intentionally going towards is showing people what we do through content, and showing people what we do through events, and showing people how we care about the community, showing this. And when it feels best, when all these things feel best, when I show people what I do or what OaktownSoul does, there's a rhythm to it. There's consistency.
Yes.
There's you see that post once a week, or you see that post every few days. You hear from the person. Rhythm is like so weirdly connected to life. Like, and vibrations move, we move. Like, there's a page feels alive, a business feels alive, artist feels alive when they're in rhythm. A shooter on the basketball court has a rhythm to them. I think, like, getting into your rhythm means discipline, and means consistency. Even getting far on things like Instagram. I heard someone just say this, it's even in the word algorithm.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
rhythm is in the word itself. Like you have to be consistent, and then the beautiful thing about a rhythm is like once you catch rhythm, like it becomes infectious, and usually it's easier to stay on, just like a good habit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that. And it's something interesting enough. I deal with, of course, obviously a lot of us obviously deal with, but paying attention to energy. But I also kind of translate that over to rhythm. Like, spiritually speaking, like if you're not in the right rhythm, whether it be people, friendships, relationships, it's very important to pay attention to a rhythm, and I start saying that. And that's why I thought about, I'm like, this is not just music. This is life. This is a vibration that, we have to pay attention to. And you mentioned that. You said, if it's something that's not working out, going to an open door just because it's open, it doesn't always mean, it's you're in rhythm.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Like you're in rhythm. It's just like you said, you're in rhythm. You walk into a room with someone and you feel that rhythm stop.
Ooh,
Red flag.
Look around, everybody on mute. It's just like you have to pay attention to that. Yeah, it's just like that's some serious shit. Like I really start noticing that lately, and the older I'm getting, it's important. And so rhythm, I like that. The last word is fortitude.
Fortitude. Fortitude. Fortitude, like as in
having
strength?
Courage. Yeah, like strength and
courage
during like pain or adversity or anything like that. Just the fortitude to keep going. What's the first mind? Fortitude.
Definitely. I mean, fortitude is another thing that I feel like every human is going to experience. Their challenges are going to come, even if you have a really cozy life. Like I think life finds ways to challenge you. It just seems like a thing. I mean, and if you pick a career as a musician, you're definitely going to come across a lot of challenges, and whether they're financial, emotional, relationships, just I mean, all of the above. And you have to be strong. You have to be strong through those moments of doubt. You might there's been times, like I said, when I was on the couch all those months, or even here, and our bank accounts have not looked good. I've had to find ways to get money that, in different ways. And you think like, am I ever going to get out of this? Is this, and if you really believe in yourself and you believe in the mission, and that comes, I feel like you get a lot more fortitude. Like if you believe in yourself and your team, that can help you. That can be like kind of your backbone that helps you get past those things. Or if you just believe that, everything happens for a reason, and that these trials and tribulations are on your way to, whatever success is to you. So whenever I'm going through adversity nowadays, I like to look at it as a challenge personally. And I think like life is challenging me right now. And if I beat this challenge, I'm going to come out on the other end stronger. And I'm going to be that much further to where I need to be, instead of, so, and not even just a challenge, an opportunity. It's an opportunity to defeat this challenge and be stronger. It's not just, it can be positive. Like it can be a positive thing, even when I'm downstairs and it's some of the hardest sessions and it's some of the hardest things aren't going my way. The artist is looking at me like, yo, what the hell's going on? Take a deep breath. And then sometimes the most magic moments happen right after that. Like you keep going and believe in yourself. And, that takes courage, and you have to, and strength, but, the results, I mean, it's either that or you give up, and it's not really an option for us.
Quitting is definitely not an option. I love that, and you mentioned the word strength. And so we definitely know, obviously quite a bit of your strengths. But I always ask, what is one of your weaknesses?
So it was funny enough, being at this studio, having so many talented individuals around me who are amazing at what they do, I see my weaknesses all the time.
So funny.
If I line myself up against any of them, I can see places where I want to be better, that they're better than me. So for example, I really love what Clay does musically on some of his chords, and it's so beautiful, and he does it so effortlessly sometimes, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm sorry.
Playing the flute and all kind of stuff. I'm like, good God.
I'm like, what are you doing? And then so he does that, right? He's making these beautiful chords on the spot. It's a real gift of his. Then you see Sean on the right of me. He just starts making the craziest drums you've ever heard. This pattern that doesn't make sense, but somehow just feels so good in your soul, somehow makes sense. And I've never heard drums like that, but they feel so good. And it's like, wow, like these guys are really good. And it's business wise too. I mean, seeing how Sean, Sean is a really fearless leader that has done really great things here and just brought people together just with his vision. I mean, he's a vision guy. So seeing that strength, and seeing how he can make people really believe in what he's doing, and not only believe what he's doing, but make you believe in yourself through that. So there's just really powerful, strengths that I see every day. Even Lovey, who threw that event.
Yes.
I see what she's able to do, and I'm just really grateful to be able to work around these people, because I get so much better just being around them. People hit me up all the time, like, wow, man, like your music sounds really good now, this, that, and that. Like, it's amazing how fast you've grown in these areas. And that's definitely from my environment and from just learning from these guys, like engineering downstairs. And like you said, just listening. Like, I'm not playing a note, I'm just picking up on what they're doing. I'm like, how the hell is this happening? And then, all of a sudden, a few sessions later, I'm doing some things they're surprised at. And, I'm adding my own things that they don't necessarily add. And it's just a great thing.
And and you're filling in all my words too, because I was just about to say, you're around greats for one. So it's a great thing you are surrounded by greats. And there's a saying, it's like, if you're the greatest musician in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? You literally should be around other greats. I mean, in order to get to where you're trying to get to, you have to surround yourself with people who are similar. If I'm the only one that's a singer in here, I'm in the wrong room. If I'm the only one.
Definitely. I don't know if this is what they're going for. Even like when Michael Jackson started working with Quincy Jones, it's like, for such talent to then, like you have to find these people that like bring things that you necessarily wouldn't bring. And
Absolutely. I love that. Are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right things?
Definitely doing the right things. Now, I am somebody who, in my mind, that's something I've had to break out of lately. I'll definitely think about the right ways we should be even handling things in the business. And it will escape me that like some of the minute things I'm thinking about, even aren't the most important tasks that further the vision, or even personal things. There's sometimes in the business, the right thing to do might be to finish this task, get this thing ready, this, that, but we might have somebody that we know associated with the label or not under emotional distress or this, that. And we like taking a breather and like checking in on them and making sure they're good for the long run, not just for this little short-term money that we're trying to do, but it's a marathon and we're trying to build a real community here. So doing the right thing for us is, taking care of our people, making sure that everyone's mental health is good, and at the same time pushing ourselves to our limits. I mean, we have to hustle to even make it in this industry. This industry is cutthroat, but it's definitely important to us that we don't break our people on the way. And that's part of just doing the right thing, and maybe not necessarily what the right thing is for the label, but maybe just for the people, which in the end is best for the label. So
it is best for the label. Exactly. Well, I appreciate that you mentioned mental health, because there's a lot of times I do have those topics. And, I was just sharing with a friend the other day, the Grammys, the Academy, the Grammys, basically, they do a lot. I don't think people realize they also support, big time when it comes to mental health. And, Like they'll pay for your, therapy sessions. Like people really need to really dig deep and look at the resources, that the Grammys offer. Yeah, they offer a lot. They offer therapy, and they offer ways to be able to pay when you don't have, rent or sources, especially during the pandemic. Everybody, people that were performing that normally would perform, couldn't perform. Where were they getting? I mean, we're talking about full-time musicians like yourselves. It's like, where were they getting the money? So, it's important to, like you said, tap in with people, because it's a very cutthroat business, like no other, right? And I just find it to be interesting.
Yeah.
I can always say it that way in a nice way.
I think it's something I'd been looking at. It's like a weird dichotomy, like a weird balance of people's creativity, which is so far away from capitalism, but then the industry is making money off of creativity and culture and all of these things. It's like the most capitalistic form of creativity. So it's such a interesting, feelings definitely get hurt and people get fucked over. Oops, I should probably curse. But
he's like, this is a very sensitive topic for me, So outside of the studio, what do you enjoy doing outside of the studio? When I know you like to eat chicken and things like that. You like to eat, period. I mean, we all do, but you like good food. I know you're a foodie, because I picked that up at the event.
I do like food. Man. Lately, my favorite cuisine has been Ethiopian food around the Bay. Oh, it's been so good.
My God.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you enjoy?
So I'm at heart, I'm kind of, I have a lot of introverted activities actually that I like to do. Like that's where I recharge, is like 1 or 2 people. I like to hike. I like to go to outdoor places, like national park type things. I like to play basketball. So I'm a big basketball player. I play once a week.
Okay.
Yeah. I do love basketball. Being in the Bay Area, there's so many cool little towns nearby. So I like to just go pop up around and see what's going on. Yeah, being outdoors like there. I like to incorporate music outside. That's why some of the videos I was posting were outdoors. I need to get back to
this
that.
is one of my favorite. This is actually one of my favorite go-to spots. I mean, people probably know by now, because one of my visuals I did here, Marin Headlands, and of course on this side, by the big theater, and but this is a great scene by the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's
so pretty there.
It's dope for making music and sounds and just breathing, right, and walking, and just, have you ever been to the other side? Like literally that other side over there on the left?
It's amazing. Not on the left, on the right side. Have. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Like you said, the Marin Headlands. Like the Marin Headlands.
Like Cronkite Beach, I think it's called down there. It's like a beach, and it looks like you're in Ireland, right? Like when you get over there, you don't even think you're in San Francisco anymore. It's like, where the hell am I? I could sit there for hours. So yeah, that's a beautiful spot.
Oh my God, yeah, that was a great. All the fishermen were just like wondering what I was doing for sure.
Yeah, I love this. Cool. I love this place. So you mentioned chicken earlier. So if you had a choice and you only could choose, because right now you know what's happening with inflation and everything, and the store only had beef or pork, and there was no chicken, what would you choose?
Ooh, beef or pork. I wonder if I need to do another chicken video, if I need to make this a thing. You'd be surprised how much this video comes up.
No fun. I'm like, he'd be eating his ass off.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I just need a bunch of food.
Beef or pork? No chicken left in the grocery store. What do you do?
I'm making, you know what? I'm making pork tacos. I'm going pork. I'm getting some lime. Nope. Oh, am I making a burger with the beef? I don't know.
Oh Lord, I think you'd be doing both. It sounds like you just don't take both, but I'm just gonna go with potluck.
Yeah.
So what's next? So you're going, okay, we've got Atlanta coming up. What can you share with us that's happening as far as collective, Oaktown Soul? I mean, I know, of course, we attended the last networking event of the year.
Yeah.
What can you share with us that's coming?
There's a lot to look forward to that's going to be exciting. So, I wish I had a drink. We have, first off, I'll start with the brunch type stuff where, I mean, we're going to continue the brunches, but we're looking to start getting pre-sales and start crowdfunding really for a conference in Oakland, a music conference, large format, couple thousand people, partner with Oak Stop and a few other businesses in Oakland that have shown interest, and really bring industry up in a big way. Like, we'll call all of the people we know in Los Angeles, have speakers. It'll be a walking conference around the Bay, in Oakland, downtown Oakland. That's on the docket. There's definitely a lot that goes into that, so I'll just throw it out there. You might see that next year, but more immediately, YouTube is a place where OaktownSoul is going. These production sessions I've been talking about, I mean, you better come to the studio and check them out yourself. But if for some reason you don't, we're going to start live streaming them. So
oh my
there's
God.
multiple cameras. We're going to have a 360 camera in the middle of the room. It's our cloud studio. You can change angles. You'll see the whole production happen live. And we'll start filming all of these sessions, have artists in there, have a backdrop where artists can sing their verse or rap their verse that they just made to the song on the spot, and post these onto YouTube and live stream them. And it'll be like really amazing to see, because it's a special experience. I mean, you'll see when you come, but it'll be great to share it with the world. So that's really the next step right now too.
Oh my God. Well, that's exciting. And in closing, I will say, well done. Just to a great start.
Yeah, right.
She's sky's the limit, obviously, and through humble beginnings. I can appreciate your story, because we all have a story and very similar, whether it be, homelessness or what we talked about, mental health, stress, adversity, all these things. But of course, when you see the other side, and look how beautiful the other side is, So congratulations on an incredible ride thus far. And I thank you again for tonight, just being able to pick your brain and share a little bit of your story. And I'm still stoked and excited just from the event, You saw I was just posting everywhere. I was like, oh my God, little kid at the candy store. I was just like, it was amazing. Amazing.
So happy you had a good time. It was great.
So I'll let you get back to the studio, back to the guys downstairs, and then let everybody know where they can find you, just in case they are not following OaktownSoul, and also, of course, your handles and any other platforms that you're on currently.
Yep. Well, my Instagram is You Have Powers. That's the letter U, then HAVE, and then PWRS. OaktownSoul is at OaktownSoul. We have, look at them. There's a ton of, there's a lot of great stuff. We're going to start putting out a lot more content. We have Clay going over these compositions, breaking down how to make the music he makes. I'm going to be doing some breakdowns too. So yeah, if you want to get some education pieces too, hit us up. And of course, you're already following the face behind the brand if you're on this page, but keep following this amazing show, because I can't wait to see where it goes as well.
Thank you. And so, as you have just witnessed, if you are watching, of course, you just witnessed greatness. Of course, Max Powers of OaktownSoul. If you're still here, of course, watching, you are at the Face Behind the Brand YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click that button and subscribe, so you can, of course, be ready for the next interview. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Appreciate you so much for watching and sharing. Have a good night. Peace.
Warning.